It is time we stop viewing taking charge for the work that we have put into something as something bad.
Hello. Okay, so I'm sick today, but I just felt like I needed to record this. I have a dream.
It is time we stop viewing taking charge for the work that we have put into something as something bad. We pay for things all the time. We are in the ecosystem of value exchange without even thinking about it. If I want milk, I pay for the milk. If I'm going to the doctor's, I pay for the visit. And for those who think that music should be free, they are entitled to their opinion. But the question is, just because they enjoy doing something, would they want to give it away all for free or make a living of it if they could? The whole idea of making a living, that it should be something that feels hard, that is showing us how wrong we are. We are so capable with our intellects, but yet in some areas we are truly stupid. The whole point with being here is to provide different things because we are unique. In those current versions of ourselves, the most beautiful thing we can give to others is what comes from within, not by copy somebody else. And yeah, passion doesn't mean everything around it is fun. There are people who think that you could not have your passion as your business, as your way of living. I think the opposite. I think that when we involve with our passion, that is when we can tap into the most high frequency energy to share with others. That's when we are aligned. That's when we have easier to give love and self-compassion, when we feel ease, serenity, and inner alignment. And that alone makes us better contributor to this world. And for those who think that passion is just a hobby, or that you shouldn't make money out of it, I want to offer another perspective. First of all, passion doesn't mean it has to be viewed as something super excited from outside. Passion is just another word for flow state. Something that you love doing. And when you're doing it, you lose track of time and place. That is a sign that you are in flow state, and there is a sign that you are leaving the intellectual mind, the vehicle that you're currently operating in, and connect with that inner infinite source of you. And like any other thing in life, just because we love something, it doesn't mean that it's super exciting all the time, or that everything revolving that is super exciting. Think about being a parent. I mean, you love your kids, you would die for them, but I bet you, like me, sometimes feel like you are going crazy. You don't love all the tasks about being a mom or a dad. Like cleaning, like picking up after them, like yelling at them and feeling like, okay, I really don't like this version of myself. And that's the same with your passion. If you are a music artist, you love making the music, but maybe you don't love doing the mixing. Maybe you don't love creating the art cover. Maybe you don't love creating content. I don't know, but just because it's the passion, it doesn't mean that it doesn't come with sides to it that doesn't necessarily is rooted of the seeds from your passion. Your passion is the energy flow that you let flow to and through you when you are aligned with your spirit. But once you use that energy and start creating in this third dimension, and you have this vehicle with a body and an intellect, and when you use your intellect, that is when things sometimes start to go south, if you perceive it that way. But that is when you use our intellect, that is when we often put up the blockages from staying present, from staying aligned. Like the projected concept time, I would say that most of us today when we feel bad, when we feel suffering, when we feel, all the negative things, I do think that it boils down to that we use the concept of time wrongly. I know that whenever I feel like a less good version of me, when I feel like I am, stressed out, that is when I let time consume me. When I let time dictate my choices and my experience. But like any other concept that mankind has created, time, money, that's another concept, an energy, currency, that we could feel completely free and satisfied around if we could just adopt a more philosophic perspective to it. And that is when we need to understand that we are not the mind, and in order for us to get the best out of it is to understand that we can command our minds and we can condition our mind to think in new pathways, to create new habits, to have new perspectives and perception about everything. And when we change our perspectives, our focus change and our experience of it change, so we can feel the passion and also have an approach of the things we feel would be a good contribution to make room for our passion, like using a calendar to plan that, to make that block in your calendar to show up for yourself. Then we can remember that. So when you open your calendar, instead of feeling I don't have time, step into another perspective and think, yeah, I will use this concept of time so that it serves me and what I want to do. So I make sure that I will make music today and the next and the next and the next. So, but back to the dream. My dream is what resonates so deep within me, and that is that we can make new realities. This is something that I've known for so long when it comes to other areas, other things than music specifically, is that the society and the inherited paradigms and norms is created by humans, and therefore we can create new ones if we do not feel like they serve us anymore. And how do we know that they don't serve us? When we don't feel good, then it's not service, then it becomes a prison, then it becomes a shame. And we can change that, but we treat the rules that we have set up in society, contracts and laws and all those things. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with them, but I just want us to understand that it's just words. It's just piece of papers. It's not natural laws. It's not natural laws. And that's the same with the music industry. Spotify has been like the main platform, the go-to for both worldwide artists, successful artists, as well as newbies, like independent artists. And therefore we have accepted it. We had accepted, okay, this is what has been offered. But that's the thing. We don't have to choose from what is offered. We can create new offers. We can create new opportunities. We can create new platforms. We can create new set of rules, a new so-called natural laws. And we can let them support us as long as they do. But when we outgrow them, we can create new ones. But let's us just stick with that for a moment. And it was recently that I discovered Bandcamp. And just before that, I had heard independent artists talk about selling your music on your own website, in your own shop. And that excited me so much. And I actually decided to, this is actually what I'm going to focus on. And I'm not sure what to do about Spotify. Maybe I will use it for a little longer, like a marketing engine. But I'm not sure. We will just leave that for now. So selling your music in your own store, that is I think that is amazing, and it's no brainer, really. But I love the idea of a platform for discovery and community. And if you don't want to lay so much time on content creation to spread awareness about your music, if you don't know how to market, follow me here. Without a platform, or should we say an arena, a stage, a dimension where you could easily release your music so that it has the potential to spread awareness, that is when the magic of a platform comes in. And I discovered Bandcamp, and I decided to start to release my music there because it lets the user stream the music, and you decide for how many times. The common time is like 3 times. And then if they like it, then they need to buy it. And you can set whatever price you want. The common recommendation is like 1.5 or 1.2 euros/dollars for one song. And you can also have this future pay what you want, where the amount that I just said is the minimum, but the fan can pay as much as they want to be above that. And what if? And I think the streaming possibility is awesome because it works like a platform that you can direct people to so that they can stream your music, but they can also discover other artists. And what if we, all of us independent artists, and also, the Taylor Swifts, Billie Eilish, whatever, if we just abandoned Spotify and we all would move over to Bandcamp or another another platform similar to that, but that's the only one I know. And I think if we just have this one hub, that would be great because they would also get paid. And they take a commission of everything you sell. And I think it's like 10 to 15% of whatever you sell. And they should, as I began by saying, we should not view paying or charging as something bad. It's just an exchange. And if we use, for example, a platform like Bandcamp, they are putting in work too and making this possible for us. So of course they also want to take charge. So my dream is that we would leave Spotify for as long as their terms doesn't meet us halfway. I think you need to have like 1 million or something streams to just earn like $1,000. And $1,000 is not a lot money to have a living on, if you even get up to 1 million streams per month. And also, if you think of it like that, if everybody would pay just 50 cents for all of those 1 million streams, that will be 50,000 to you. And that is something that you can make a living off. Okay, I'm not sure about my math there, so I think I will just cut that out because I'm blaming that I'm sick and I have a foggy brain right now, so don't judge me. But if you do, I don't care. What other people think of you is none of your business. Yeah, so creating a new platform for independent music artists, but also for all the artists in the world, wouldn't that be a wonderful dream? And the thing is, we can make that come true. All great changes throughout history began with a dream, or someone saying, I've had enough. Maybe this is Rosa Parks saying, no more giving away our music for free. It's nothing wrong with giving, but it's also nothing wrong of exchanging value instead of just being the one who gives. Wouldn't it be better if your music really helps somebody else, move somebody else, maybe improve their entire birthday because they love the beats in your song, and you get a small commission for that? That will be a world of perfect harmony and balance. So, more about Bandcamp. I just discovered them. I will make more content if that is something you would be if that is something that you would be interested in. Check out my playlist Bandcamp. And I will put everything that I discover, learn, and feel about that platform. See you in the next video.